is Chris Rigood is here, your friendly marketing consultant slash copyright slash profit extractor slash douchebag with long hair. And in today's video, we're going to tear down an email from a very well-known guru, internet marketer, influencer, and we're gonna build it right back up from the start with better, more persuasive copy that's proven to convert. I actually use this framework, over the past couple of years to bring in over $500,000 in sales for clients. So it's potent stuff, right? So let's get into it. The subject line of his email was, "Want this for $99 per day, even if you have no product or service to sell," which is, it's 15 words, is a bit too long for a subject line, and it's hypey. I mean, this baby is full of hype. Let's begin. I'm going to release a how to go from 0 to $499 a day, even if you have no products or services crash course inside of my Facebook group. Very long sentence. Woof! I'm out of breath, right? And he's also put together two different sentences together, right? So it's even harder for me to read. 20 years ago, I posted and close to 150 people have now expressed interest. So he's compacted the whole pitch in the start of the email. So I'm not saying this won't work, ever, but giving all the details from the start, it's a yes or no situation for me, right? If I don't like it, I just bail. Plus, he has no links here. So it's a yes or no, but he doesn't give me anywhere to go, right? And this is irrelevant. So he makes his pitch, but I've been super busy working for May and June, which doesn't have a logical flow to support the argument whatsoever. So let's continue. I've been super busy, the two biggest months that will be the most valuable for you as a subscriber, hence I haven't emailed. Now the only reason to include this sentence really is for this reason, hence I haven't emailed, probably to justify an absence of emails from him. But again, if you see the next sentence, I just sold one of my businesses. I mean, congratulations, who cares, dude? Well done, but it doesn't help me. I don't care. You're awesome. I know I'm not you yet, but who cares, right? You can argue that he's doing it for credibility purposes, but at this point of the email, it's out of place. So anyways, you're always on my mind. Really? I haven't noticed up to this point. So when this crisis took place, I had some people very close to me who needed to make money. I really wanted to just give them my courses, but my core product series are ideal for people who actually know what internet marketing is. So very long sentences, tiring sentences for the mouth to say, complex, and tiring for the reader, right? It also doesn't move the argument forward. So he gets into his story, again, out of flow. He gets into his story and, moves into details for the argument that he would give away his courses, but internet marketing is too complex in a way. Also very heady language. None of this is visual, right? Core, products, services. I cannot see anything of this, right? This is very brainy language in a way. I'm not saying that you would find this language in newspapers or anything, but what I'm saying is you want to produce, when you write emails, you want to be like a producer. You want to evoke mental images, right? In your stories, through your storytelling, or whatever argument you're trying to pass along. You want to be very visual to activate the emotional side of the brain. Anyways, now, out of nowhere, he plugs in his masseuse. No idea why, who travels for work, and he realizes in this one source of income right now has no income. So, blabbering again. I could talk more, but you get the point. Please don't. You've said enough. I mean, I'm already probably gone up to this point because really, I get what you're going with this, but this is you're taking too many words to say something valuable, and it's not really something I care about. All I cared about is here, right? How to make a little bit of money here and there, but all this in your masseuse, I don't really care. Now we're starting to get in the good stuff. So ideas, start the new biz, and record all the steps and get to 15K a month. Okay, that sounds interesting. So I could make an extra 499 per day with zero brand, zero credibility, and zero experience with a limited budget. Again, way too long, but up to this point, he's building a lot of hype, and hype without much proof to back it. And he uses language where, almost every make money online influencer uses on the regular. So I see nothing new here. There's no mechanism. He doesn't tell me how or why should I believe his argument, right? And this is to my close ones and a few of my Mr. Marketer group members. Of course, I've hidden his name. We don't want to expose anybody. We're not here to spam him. We're just here to provide, some aha moments that maybe can help people write better emails and get more sales. Now, anyway, this new test resulted in close to 20K a month in a single month. Doesn't provide proof. I mean, you're saying it, but did it really happen? I plan to show 100 people exactly how I done this. I revealed the niche. Now, he gets a little bit into the how to. How are you going to show? But again, it's not super clear, right? The store, like, okay, I guess you sell stuff where I place ads. Okay, I guess it's good enough. This is again a bit repetitive, I'm putting in all the send my Facebook group, walks you through how to do this. Then I announce this. So I'm announcing it to you, but you're late to the party because I already announced it to the Facebook group, and more than 150 people showed interest. Now, this is in a way social proof, but there are better ways to do it, in my opinion. So call to action number 1, let's make it happen. That's fine. And now he tells us the companies that he's founded, but he hyperlinks all these websites here. So he has 1 call to action, 2, 3, 4 call to actions in 1 email, which is a surefire way to destroy any chances of getting a sale, right? Like, I'm not saying you should never have multiple calls to action to different products, but the optimal way to do things is to have 1 offer in every single email. You want to be very focused in your marketing and copywriting efforts to get the sale. Now, one last thing before we move into how to make this pop and how to make sales come rushing in. Now I'm being happy. Anyways, so the PS here is completely irrelevant, right? If you're a business owner looking to start or scale your business, is hosting a 90-day new accelerator, and he gives us another link. So Mr. Marketer here was his name. So the entirety of this email was written in the first person, but suddenly his secretary, I guess, jumps in and writes the PS for him and writes his name, right? Anyways, let's move on to the good stuff. So what do we do with the hype subject line? First of all, we cut it off and we're like $4.99 a day without a product service to sell. And this is crucial, guys. We insert a question mark because it's making the claim much lighter. It invokes the curiosity, right? The benefit is still here with the claim, but by adding a question mark, we're making the claim much lighter. We're not saying that it happened, we're saying that in this email you may find a possibility that this subject line might become a reality. So let's move on. Short, punchy subject line. You want to make your not the subject line, sorry, first line. So the first line of your emails, you want them to be full of energy and short. As a big rule, you want your emails to be like a slippery slope. You want one sentence to lead on to the next with as much effortlessness, if that's even a word, as possible, right? So this is nuts. And I'm entering their world right now. I'm not saying that this is me, I've sold companies, whatever, I'm awesome, and I have this brand new offer. Slippery slope, very slow. I'm entering their world. And I'm saying, with the stock market free fall, businesses shutting their doors, and a nasty storm brewing in almost all industries, see, very visual language, right? Shutting doors, nasty storm. I'll be getting a lot of questions from people close to me about new streams of income. And here, number one, it's visual, streams of income. Staying away from the just make money online, which is language that everyone uses nowadays. Also, depending on the personality of the guru here, we can say get some door rolling in or new ways of putting food on the table. Anyways, now we can bring in the masseuse. Instead of having him hidden here among this whole blabber. I hope I'm not being too critical here. I'm just trying to make a point. We bring in the Nick, the masseuse, in the beginning of the story to have him as his protagonist in a way, who can no longer crack backs and stretch limbs to put food on the table, right? Very visual. We're having our audience sit next to Nick, basically, right? And we're pointing straight at his pain, so he can no longer crack backs and stretch limbs to put food on the table. Makes me sad, really. So instead of making it about us, we're portraying, a likable character here. It's making me sad that, the stock market crumbles, people are out of work and all that stuff. So I decided to step up and help them. Simple. First, I thought about handing them my courses, but for people who don't even use social media, I don't have to dimensionalize every social media. Climbing into a pedestal and teaching them Internet Marketing 101 would be like dropping them into a maze. See the visual language, see how, a story develops. I'm not saying this is perfect, this is masterful, crazy good copy, but I'm just trying to show you with little tiny changes how, the flowability of the email and the imagery becomes more vivid. And then it hit me, some drama. What if I started from scratch and went from 0 to 15K a month? So I'm drawing a gap here. 0, in a way, is their hell. I don't have any money, and it continues. 0 brands, 0 fans, close to empty pockets. I'm drawing a picture of their current state, in a way, for some people, right? Possibly for the readers of this email. And the 15K is their dream state, in a way, right? So from 0 to 15K is the bridge from their hell to their heaven. And all of that, instead of saying, big hype claims, well, this is hype too. Let's not forget that. But we're drawing a bridge from their painful situation to their ideal one. And if you might notice, I frame this again as a what if. I'm not saying I made this, I made that, I. What if? What if I did that? Still, as I've written here, I'm building up a lot of hype. Even if it's a what if statement, there's a lot of hype. The BS alarm is about to ring, 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 ring. So, well, guess what? I already did, and it wasn't a complete disaster. Now, this, we're starting to disarm the hype, right? Instead of saying, well, I made all this money, I'm insane, I'm the best guy ever, hooray. I'm saying, I already did, and it wasn't a complete disaster. So, framing things in negative makes it much more believable, right? And it says things in a different way that, you know, something that everyone else could say. So I actually brought in 20K in a single month. This is super hypey. So I address it right away. You probably think I'm full of cow's doo-doo. And I inject some humor here to, again, trying to disarm the hype. I address it. You probably think that I'm full of cow's doo-doo by now, which is why I'm putting together and I'm subtly leading them into my solution now. I'm putting together a group of people and showing them exactly how to add $4.99 to their pockets using the magic mechanism. Now, there's a lot of things packed here. Instead of saying, I'm building a case study. Who wants to read another case study? Let's be real here. Like, okay, so according to this guy, I'm gonna join a Facebook group, all right, another Facebook group. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm putting together a case study. Okay, so I have to go into a group and I have to read a boring case study. Okay, very exciting stuff, guys. Instead, we're injecting an inclusion play here. So I'm putting together a group of people, right? This is happening no matter if you're joining us or not, right? This is happening. I'm putting together a group of people and showing them exactly the specificity is huge here. $4.99 to their pockets, I can see it, $4.99 into the pocket. Using my magic mechanism, inserting a mechanism shows that you have developed an actual process for this. You're not just actually, pulling things out of your butt, but you've developed a mechanism that you can hand it to someone and he can use it to do the exact same thing, right? And you can break down your mechanism a little bit, but if you could say, using, my cash injection 2.0 or something mechanism, I'll reveal the niche, the product, the store, blah, 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 and the little note ad spots, some curiosity there. And now this is probably the most crucial part of this email, guys. And this is something that this guy hasn't done at all. Don't get me wrong, not many people do, and not many people will dare to do, because it takes away all the hype, right? We're being super honest with them. We're being very real, which we may filter some people off, but at the same time, what do we want here? Do we want freebie seekers to get into our programs, or do we want, action minded people who will buy into the program, take action, get results, and turn into evangelists for them, right? I'm guessing you want a second group. So this is how to do it. Now, I'm not saying this is push button easy, right? Most people will say, or would have said, that this program is push button easy, yay, anyone can do it. Well, this is the exact opposite. Now, I'm not saying this is push button easy, and as it does take some elbow grease and hand holding. So it says here that they have to work for it. They have to work for those results. And by saying that, he makes it real. We make it real. Like, you have to work for it, guys. Yes, I'm going to give you my magic mechanism, but you have to follow along. And also, I'm very subtly pitching them my coaching /program/service here, because I'm saying it does take some elbow grease, so it requires some action, and hand holding, so you will need some help along the way. I'm not saying, it should be my help, but it does take some hand holding. So I'm priming them for the pitch, which will happen eventually inside the group. Hope it makes sense and I'm not being too nerdy here for you. And again, I'm not saying this is impossible, right? Follow along without missing a step, so it is a step-by-step approach, and it's certainly possible. So it's not everyone will make it, but some, if they follow all the steps, will do. And I'm not commanding them here to take action. I'm not saying, you're either gonna join us or you're not an action taker. I'm saying you might not want this, and that's perfectly fine. I'm giving them permission to say no with this phrase here. It looks like it's simple, but it's very, very powerful stuff. And I beg you to try it out. It's been working super well for me and my clients, and you should try it out, guys. So if you're open to it, and I'm not saying you're open to it, but if you're open to it, and now we saw some social proof here, and we're saying, I've already got 150 movers and shakers who raised their hand, visual, for this. So would you like to join us? And again, by movers and shakers, instead of saying, I've already got the top people in the industry wanting this, oh my God, it's amazing. I'm saying 150 movers and shakers. Movers and shakers, people who, command respect, but I'm saying it in a delicate way, right? I'm not saying upstanding, individuals or whatever. So, would you like to join us? Let me know by replying to this email. And this is optional, really. I could have easily sent them to a link here to join Facebook group or whatever. And this is another tip for you, which will help you, could help you in a big way. So by replying to this email, number one, you're increasing your deliverability rate, because instead of you're telling Gmail or whatever other email provider, you're telling Gmail that, I'm not a spammer that just sends emails out. This is actually a conversation. People are replying back to me, so, buzz off with all your promotion tabs and all your spam stuff. This is a conversation, dude, so let me in the inbox. So you're actually increasing your deliverability rate. Number two, benefit of replying back. You're actually, if this is not a validated offer, you can, by reading their replies, you can see, their objections, their fears, their needs, ways you can add to your offer to make it more compelling. This is powerful stuff. And third, there's always third benefit is you have always the option of closing the sale right in the inbox without any Facebook groups, without any automations, without any crazy techie stuff. You just have them reply back, you engage in the conversation, you qualify them by asking questions, you give them the details, you send the inbox, and you tell them, just reply back and tell me if you're in or out, dude. That's it. And if they're in, you got a sale. No complicated Facebook groups, no nothing, right? Again, I'm not saying you should do this, right? This guy sent them to a Facebook group and probably has a different strategy, and that's perfectly fine. And if it's been working, sending them to a group or whatever, a link, a sales page works. It's been working for years, and it will work for the future. This is an alternative approach that's been working really, really well for us. Now, this is all I had for you. Thank you very much for joining the video. If you'd like more of this, or if you'd like me to write, your emails or to come up with an exciting offer that you can sell to your audience, just hit me up. Let me know in the comment section or shoot me a quick PM by clicking the button below. Other than that, see you around, guys. Hope this was helpful. Have a good one.